Okay, so we are doing the review. Right here we have our 8th hour. Yeah. Anyway, all right, so I know the phones are away, all that stuff. I don't have to yell at anyone about that. So everything's going to be on the charger. So we're going to go through and do some of these problems. Some of these stuff that you guys should have had before, you probably didn't. Okay, but I'm going to teach it as if you guys need learning it for the first time. So I'm going to teach it like that. So whenever we have something like this, I'm going to talk about this like this is going to be the altitude of my triangle. Now, what it does is it breaks the triangle. So RS is going to be altitude. It breaks the triangle into 3 similar triangles. So when I do this, my 3 similar triangles are going to start here. So I'm going to start, there's one, there's my small, there's my medium, and large. They all are similar and they all have a right angle right there. So let's start with the small. What is this point right here going to be in the small? Say S. S, very good. So that's S. All right, what is this? What is this one right here? R. This one's P. We're talking about this triangle right here. Okay, we're talking about the smallest triangle. So this one's P, and this is R. Very good. So I get that. So now I'm going to do the medium triangle. So in my medium triangle, it's this right here. So it's that right there. So what is the right angle? S. S. What is this side? R. Q. There we go. And so my big triangle, the whole thing. So where is my right angle at? R. Very good. Where's the pointy? Q. And the last one is P. Very good. So we're going to go through and we're going to actually solve. We're going to solve everything we need to in this triangle. So I'm going to start with RS. RS is right here. It's in the small triangle and the medium triangle, right? It's a small triangle and medium triangle, so I'm going to do some math for this. So PS is 4. So I'm going to put that right there. PS is 4. Let me see. No. Okay, so there's 4 there. Next thing I have, it's SQ is 16. SQ is 16. Do I know anything else? Nope. Yes. PQ is, there we go. So PQ is 20. That's good. All right, so that's everything I need there. Now, RS is in both triangles, isn't it? And I'm trying to find RS. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a variable right there. So I'm going to call that X. And I'm going to put it in both RS's. Now, I'm going to solve this using cross products. So there's similar triangles. I could use cross products for this. So let's set it up. So I'm going to say X over 16 is equal to 4 over X. Very good. All right, X times X. X squared. X squared equals 16 times 4? 64. Now, how do I undo a square? Square root. So square root both sides. So X is going to be equal to the square root of 64. So X is 8. So the square root of 64 is 8. So in this case right here, this value is now 8. So I can go ahead and replace my variables that I have right here. That one there with 8. There we go. So that piece is very helpful now. Now the next thing it's going to ask for is RP. RP is this one right here, isn't it? So since it's this one right here, I could do Pythagorean theorem. So let's go ahead. So we could do Pythagorean theorem off that. Or I could actually do the same thing again because RP is over here, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's also there. So I could do the same thing. Right? So I could do, it was X over, but in this case I'll do Y. You'll see. So Y over 20 equals 4 over Y. I could do the same thing. But I would rather do the Pythagorean theorem because that one's probably one of the most used in any of this. So let's do the Pythagorean theorem over here on the small triangle. So let's do the Pythagorean theorem. So now what I'm missing here is the hypotenuse, right? So let's set up that Pythagorean theorem. So it should be 4 squared plus 8 squared equals y squared. So you guys are doing this one and solving it right now? Nah, just give me square root of something.
Square root of 8.
Yeah. All right, so we get y is square root of 80, or y (8.9), right? Yes? Okay, good. All right, so we got that one for RP now. All right, the next one says RQ. So I could do the same thing again for RQ now. So I could either do it as, let's say that value would be Z, because I could actually set it up, because RQ is here, and RQ is also here, isn't it? So I could set it up like that using cross products again, or I could set it up using Pythagorean theorem. So I'm going to insert a new page and I'm going to set this one up. Insert page. So it was like this, and it was 16, 8, and Z. My other one over here was Z, 20, and 4? No, square root of 80. Square root of 80, there we go. All right, let's go ahead and do our math for this now. Let's go ahead. So if I were to set this up, it would be 16 over Z is equal to Z over 20. So I get Z squared is equal to 16 times 20. Z is equal to the square root of 320, which comes out to be 17.9. There we go. Not bad, right? All right, this next one here. We're going to use this figure. We got parallel lines there. Find the length of FE. So, first, I'm looking for this, right? What's this piece right here? What's GE going to be?
13. Oh, wait, yeah, 13.
13? You said GE is going to be 13.
Not the bottle, 16.
16? G. This one right here. Because all of it together, it's got to add to 26, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so G is 18. There we go. All right. We're going to set up cross products again. Could you please, I want you guys to try it real quick. Set it up. Set it up. All right, so let's go ahead and do the cross products. So I'm looking for FE, so I'm going to put an X there. So let's say 6 over 8 is equal to X over 18. Do the math. 8X is 6 times 18 is something. 108 divided by 8. X is 13.5? I don't know. 13.5. 13.5? Yeah. Oh, good. Find the coordinate that divides the directed line segment from this to this, ratio of 2 to 3. Okay, I'm going to tell you guys right now, this is not something that we're going to cover in this class. But I'm going to show you guys something, a way of doing it. We're not doing it in this class. Okay, so let's start with my x's. How far is it from there to there? Times. I want a piece to have 2 and a piece over here to have 3. So how many pieces is there total?
8.
And I want ratio of 2 to 3, so that would give me 2 of that. Comma.
Oh my god, it's already giving me a headache.
It's actually super easy though. How far is it from -4 to 1? 5, right? Okay. I went 2 out of 5, right? All right, so now what am I doing to this? Multiply so I get 4. So this is what I'm moving. So it's going to be x plus 4. And this one's going to be 2, y plus 2. So from my first point, because I'm going from A to B. From my first point going from A to B, so it's going to be right here, so it's going to be -2 plus 4, which is going to give me 2. And I have -4 plus 2. You're right, -2. Thank you. I was listening to Jake Quillen over there. Mess it up. Okay, so that's the point. That is 2/5 of the way in between those two. So if I were to draw a line segment here and here, it's right here. So 2/5 of the way, so this one would be A, this one is B, this is 2, and that's 3. So it's just a ratio of parts. That's, instead of being half, if it was 3 and 3, wouldn't that be the halfway point?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's what we'd have. But this isn't halfway. It's not looking for halfway. It's asking for 2/3. Wait, 2/5 of it. And this is 3/5. So if I go the whole way, I get 5/5. All right, this is the point where you take your handy dandy calculator and you make sure what? Degrees. Is it in degrees?
Yes.
Okay, good. So it's going to be in degrees. Now I have to change one thing because I had my trig students doing, okay, document. I'm going to go scratch pad here. So doc, I'm going to reset the calculator. So settings, document settings, and let's go, I need real. It was set for complex numbers. So like I's and stuff. Doc. B clears out everything.
Wait.
Doc. Hit doc and then the letter B. Clears everything. Alright, so we're going to use some trigs. So whenever I start with the trig problem, what do I have to write on top of the paper? Say it. Sum. Okay, so now, in this case right here, what is my reference angle? What's wrong?
28.
What's wrong?
Why?
Wrong calculator?
Why?
Okay, my reference angle is y, 28 degrees. So from there, let's go ahead and label everything. So this side over here is going to be what? Opposite. This side is hypotenuse, right? Because it's across from the right angle. This side over here is adjacent. Very good. So we're going to go through and we're going to isolate and figure out which one we're looking for. This says we're looking for yx. In this case, yx is my hypotenuse. Very good. So from the reference angle, I'm going to use the opposite and I'm looking for hypotenuse. What ratio is that? Sine. So I have sine of 28. 26 over, this was my h. I'm going to solve for h this case. Multiply both sides by h, right? So I get h times sine of and then divide both sides by sine 28. What'd you get? 55.4. And my instruction says round to the 10th. I don't know. All those people are still working on it. All right, so the next one says, what is YZ? So in YZ, we're looking for the adjacent. So I want you guys to take a moment. I want everyone right now on your paper, I want you to solve for YZ. Do that right now. looks good. All right, let's see what we got now. So, if we did it correctly, it should be tangent 28 is equal to 26 over A. A equals 26 tan 28. Yes? No?
Yeah.
Yeah. I skipped one step. So A is about 48.9? What are my units? Millimeters. Very good. Millimeters. All right, this one right here, major issues on this one because we do not cover that in this class.
Can we skip it?
Now, I'm going to show you why. First, I'm going to show you why. And then from there, you guys are going to be like, oh, hey, okay, I see why. Now, let's plug in our numbers. This is 50.
Yes.
And this one is 100. Because it says it.
C is 30.
And C is 30, right?
Wait, do we have to write this down?
B is
No, I'm trying to show you why.
drop B is
Why you're going to be able to skip this. We don't cover these types of problems. What's wrong with this triangle? It's not 90, is it?
No.
It's not a right triangle. So this is a law of sines problem. So since we are not covering that, if you get a triangle like this that does not come up to having a 90 degree, you know, if you had similar triangles to actually work off of, that you could still do it. But just using sine and cosine, yeah, you're not getting it on this one.
Wait, how'd you get 30?
All three have to add up to what?
180.
180. So 150, that's 150.
Yeah.
So that one's 30. Yeah. So basically, yeah, this one's law of sine and law of cosine. So don't sweat it. Give it a good guess. Huh? Do you want me to do it for you?
Yeah, just solve it real quick.
Okay.
Just so I have,
So because we know this
kind
is
of an
15,
idea, you know?
so it's going to be 15 over sine of 100 is equal to A over sine of 50. So A would equal to 15 sine of 50 divided by sine
No,
of
I'm gonna give it a good
100.
Yeah, I'm
Okay,
gonna
law of sines. We don't cover it in here, so don't sweat it.
give it a good
That's Nick.
guess.
All right, this one is more important. Okay, circles. We are not set to start circles until, yes, until after AZMerit. That stinks, right? Yes, because we're a little bit behind. Actually, we're a lot bit behind, but still.
Solve it real quick.
Now, I want you guys to draw this. Draw a circle on your paper, and you're going to see where and why.
Do we draw that weird shape inside?
Yeah, you'll see why. So you're drawing it right now, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yup. Got that right. Yup. Yup. Yup.
Hey, what? Give me 1 second. All right. All right, so with this information right here, the part that is in red is called an arc. Think of it as pizza crust.
I think of it as a balloon arc.
A what?
A balloon arc. You've never seen those balloon arcs? They put in decoration and
Oh.
parties.
What are you talking about?
That's the first thing that popped into my head.
Okay. All right, anyway, so this is going to be, this is called an arc. Okay, it is less than 180 degrees, so it's only going to be a minor arc. So from here to here, so if you notice, I have a couple of angles that have the same endpoints. So K, J, L has the same endpoints as K, M, L. They have the same endpoints, don't they? Because they have the same endpoints, they are going to be congruent. They're going to have the same angle. So this is going to be congruent to this. These two are going to be congruent to each other. Now, this is called an inscribed angle. So the inscribed angle is always going to be half of your arc. If my arc is 100 degrees, the angle is, say, 50.
Damn, I think it's 50.
Yeah, it would be 50 because it's always going to be like that no matter where it's at. If it is an inscribed angle, it's going to end up becoming half when it comes over here. Alright? So now, since these two right here have the same endpoints, they are congruent, so that means J and M. So, measure of angle KJL is this, and KML is this. I know that those two values are going to be equal, right? Say yes. Okay, so they're equal. So now, how do I solve for them?
12x plus 8 equals 10x.
Very good. 12x plus 8.
X equals 1.
There we go. So, I want you guys to solve for this right meow. Right meow. You're doing the math. A little bit of algebra on your paper.
Do you need another angle?
Don't you combine it?
It's not asking for the angle.
I'm asking if you want to know the angle.
I do.
Oh, you want me to write it down?
You will write it here.
I already finished it.
With an I.
Don't make them longer and different.
Did that in 8th grade. What they both add up to, or what each one is?
No, it's not asking for that. It's only asking for the value of x.
What you want to know.
Oh, if you want, they're both going to be the same, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, doing the math.
I figured that out. Way.
Minus 8. 12x equals 10x plus 8 minus 10x. 2x is 8. X is 4. You ready? Some people are still trying to write it down. All right. Now on this one, this one's going to be special. Okay, if you notice they come together on the outside, right? They come together on the outside. So this is 130. This is 50. So this angle right here, it's going to be 1/2 big minus small. it's always going to be like that. If it's touching on the outside, if it's touching on the outside, it's 1/2 big minus small. I know you write down that math, right? All right, we ended up getting 80 over here, half of that. So measure angle V is 40 degrees.
What number are we trying to go to?
Nah, we already passed the number, but you know the other class could just catch up.
Oh.
All right. Okay, in the circle, measure of arc AD. So AD 38 and BC is 162. And we're looking for the angle of AED. So we're looking for this one right in here. All right, this one, if it's crossing on the inside, it's going to be 1/2, and it's big plus. So if it's crossing on the inside, it's a plus sign.
So if it's on the out, it's big or small, and subtracted by big, and then it's exactly.
Yep, add them together if it's crossing on the inside. All right, put those together. What I get? 200. Half is 100. So this one is 100 degrees. All right, I'll finish up this one and I'll call this one a day. You guys actually are doing pretty well on this.
I try my best.
Okay, so DE is 3. 3. EB is 16. AE is 4. What is EC? Now, when they're crossing like this, and we're actually talking about the chords and not the arcs. Chords and not the arcs. You have to set it up. This is going to be a cross product here. So I'm going to start like this. So I'm going to say 4 over 3 equals 16 over x. Now, I'm going to show you guys why it works out like this and, you know, how you got to try and make sure you set this up. So, I'm not there yet. So, when you're doing this, it's, if you notice, this is this line segment, right? When you do your cross products, it should be 4 times x. 4 times x. That's one line segment. then it's going to be 3 times 16. That's the other line segment there. So if you're setting it up, I could have set it up other ways too. I could have set it up other ways. If it would have went, I could have went 3 over 4 x over 16. So it's the same thing. So you just have to make sure you're setting it up so when you multiply, it's multiplying the same segment times itself. So 4x is 48.
Over divided by 12.
That's right.
X is 12.
I knew that.
All right. Don't forget, like, share, and subscribe.
Yes.